Hey guys, thanks so much for watching our first episode of We Cam Cook.
Today we have Dr. Brian Russell, head of the Contemporary Guitar Program at the Frost School of Music, coming to cook some food with us today.
We can't wait to see what he's got in store for us, and we've got something in store for him. Hopefully we'll be cooking with some cilantro.
Which, by the way, is our secret word in our first secret word challenge of our series, which is where we have a secret word predetermined that we have to get our guests to say, and if they say it, there's a surprise.
A big surprise. We can't wait for you guys to see it, and I think I hear him coming. He'll be here in about 15 minutes. We need to dry off.
And I need to grow a beard before then.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Yes, this is the place.
Look who it is. Hey Brian, how's it going?
Hey guys,
How you doing? You ready to cook?
Wow, let's cook.
All right, come on in. So before we get started, we have this very special apron for our very special guest that you want to be using with us. So here we go. All right, yeah, it's the special We Cam Cook apron.
That's super special.
Oh yes, it is. So what are we going to be making today?
We're going to be making puppy chow.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, it's a really cool like party favor type of what the hell am I supposed to say here?
Snack.
Yeah.
Snack.
Yeah,
It's a party favor. Yeah, it's a finger food and super easy to make. Great for the college student.
Great.
And it's just going to take a few minutes. So if you want to take a look, we got.
Let's get started.
The ingredients here.
All right. So we got our butter, our semi-sweet chocolate chips, powdered sugar, creamy peanut butter. Don't use chunky peanut butter. We got vanilla extract. Don't drink that. And we also
Have you drank that before?
No,
Okay, because
I won't say that on camera. And Chex, or you can also use Crispix. They both works really well.
we tried to find
I
Crispix.
did not have them.
Well, it's crispy times 2.
It's crispy.
And
Didn't think of it that like that.
well, that's the advertisement. And sea salt, or just salt, kosher salt, it's for the holiday, holy holidays.
Nice. All right. Well, let's get started.
All right. So to begin, we have a dish, and we're going to put some parchment paper in it. Line it with parchment paper to make it look pretty. This will be used in the end game. For the end game.
Yes.
We also put our cereal in a big bowl.
9 cups.
9 cups. All right, that's a lot. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take, the next step is we're going to take, we'll use this bowl here, and we're going to take and put our peanut butter. Do we have a spoon?
Yeah, here, I'll get you a spoon right here.
We don't have spoons here.
All right. So we're going to take our peanut butter and our chocolate chips, and we're going to put it all in the same bowl.
Looks good already.
Right? Oh, I'm getting a little hungry. All right. And I'm not sure why it's called puppy chow. It doesn't really look like puppy chow.
Well, I'm sure dogs would love to eat it.
Oh, no, it's dangerous.
With the
for dogs.
chocolate.
Oh, it's super dangerous. And my girlfriend will smack you for that one because she's a veterinarian. All right, so what we're doing is we're just combining all this material in here. All right, like that.
Okay.
And then we're going to nuke it in 30-second increments.
Okay.
Until it starts to melt.
So, Brian, in our guitar lessons, a lot of times we like to use metaphors to explain certain concepts, and we really enjoy that part of the lesson. And one of them, you use a certain spice to,
It's an herb.
It's an herb, yeah, to explain
Cilantro.
Cilantro.
Ooh, cilantro. Ooh, cilantro. Ooh, cilantro. Ooh, cilantro. That's the secret word of the episode. Yes, the lollipop, the magic lollipop that he gets from the magical fairy.
All right. Microwave this for about 30 seconds just now, and we're just going to make this make sure it's starting to get into a creamy consistency. All right. Gonna need some more time.
think about 30 more seconds should do it.
And again, this is perfect for the college student who may only have a microwave in their room, right?
Right, especially for dorm rooms.
For a dorm room or something like that. And this is a great late night snack, so we'll just keep on. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Right.
Make sure to use good vanilla too.
Yeah.
We only
Like
use the best cooking ingredients
McCormick.
here.
All right. So, woo! All right. That's close enough. All right. Smell the alcohol in that stuff. Woo.
Is there?
Yeah, and vanilla extract is it's full of alcohol.
Right. You hear that, college kids? Just kidding.
Yeah. And there we go. Teaspoon. Yes, that's a teaspoon. And this is a quarter. Oh, good. I can do math. And use a lot of salt, do you? All right, here we go. All right.
Now the recipe calls for kosher salt, but we're using sea salt because we love the ocean.
And we're pouring into the sink to feed the fishes. No, the fishes don't eat salt. All right. That's good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so then we add that and do a little bit of mixing.
This just gets better and better.
All right, now time for the next step. We're basically going to just pour the chocolate and peanut butter mixture over the Crispix, or Chex in this case. You could probably use Lucky Charms.
Ooh, that would be good.
That'd be
Right?
tasty.
All right, and then you just got to stir it until it's evenly coated. Don't stir it too crazily, or else you're going to break all the cereal, and then it's going to be, well, just. Oh, yeah, it's going to be kind of weird. All right. Yeah, we're all
Fit
set.
for the finest of puppy.
Yes, but not safe for dogs.
And I think that might kill a dog.
It not just might, it will kill your dog. I should know because I'm a doctor of music. Now what we want to do is just kind of like stir this until it's nice and evenly coated.
Wow.
Notice how I'm kind of coming from underneath
Yeah.
to make sure that we give it a nice coating and consistency.
Yep.
You know, I knew you were a great guitar player. I never knew you were such a good chef. I never knew. You
Well,
learn something new every day.
I tell you.
Here we have a 2-gallon bag. Brian told me to get a 2-gallon bag, so.
And do
Let's
not
use it.
stick this over your head.
Okay. Oh,
That's it.
right.
You know what? We should probably put this over the sink.
Probably a good idea.
All right, so we're just going to dump this into the bag. Sounds kind of gross when it hits the bag.
But it looks delicious.
Right? All right, so we
Every last spoonful.
All right. So we get this, and now what we do is we add powdered sugar. Okay.
It's a ton of powdered sugar.
This is a 1.5 cups of powdered sugar.
1.5 cups of powdered sugar. That's right. And I got this from the Food 52 website, and which is a fantastic website. So now what we want to do is just kind of shake it until everything is well coated.
Would you like to do the honors?
Shake it, shake it, shake it,
Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it.
Little side to side.
side to side.
Looks like meat.
What would I give to be inside that bag?
I can't tell you how many times I've said that in my life. All right, so it looks like we're pretty well coated. If you notice, it gets us like really. You can kind of tell because it starts to get this kind of this color, right?
It's like chocolate Wheaties.
Yeah, like chocolate Wheaties. Whatever he said. All right, so woohoo! All right, so now what we do is we got to pour this into.
I'll open it for you.
Go ahead and open it and let the camera have it.
Get ready. Oh man. All right. Okay. So now.
All right, and now the final step is where this is where the baking sheet comes into play. We can actually move this over here since we're all done with this stuff. And my free tip to you is put this stuff in the sink now. Put a little water in it. So
Always good to keep a clean kitchen.
and also so it's not impossible to clean later because it becomes like concrete. All right, so the cool thing is it's a nice cheap dessert. If you're throwing a party, you can do this without breaking the bank, and everybody will love you. All right, so now what we want to do is just kind of let this cool a little bit. And you want to store this in an airtight container in the fridge after, because God forbid you eat this in one sitting. But you can store this in you should store this in the refrigerator in an airtight container. You want to store it in the refrigerator because remember, it is chocolate. So it'll melt in your mouth and in your hands and all over the place. All right, and just a little, I don't know.
A little extra powdered sugar.
That's it. Just a little bit of extra, just like a little bit of.
That's where you can take a little creative license.
I am a doctor.
How many times have you used the line, "Trust me, I'm a doctor"?
Like every night.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
And what do we have here?
Puppy chow! So, we have a few questions to ask you.
Before, just gotta pay tribute to our sponsor.
Of course.
Here. Whether it's the day or it's the night, Juicy Juice will put a smile on anyone's face.
I've already had.
Oh, that's good. Okay, what were we gonna say, Ben?
So, our first question. We know that you just released an album, actually. What's it called, and how's that going so far? Where can we find it?
Well, you can find it anywhere where music is sold.
Okay.
In fact, I have something for you.
Oh, all right.
This really is good. It's addicting. My third one. Whoa!
It's this is the CD. And the group is the Brian Russell Alliance. It's myself and Dan Strange, or Master Strange. Steve Rucker on drums and Jeff Carswell on bass. He's the bass player for the Jacko Big Band and other things. And Steve Rucker, we all know, is our esteemed colleague at University of Miami. And the album is entitled, or EP is entitled Attitude Adjustment.
Why is it called Attitude Adjustment?
Well, it's kind of like because it's part of my own personal journey to putting out. I've always wanted to start putting out an album. So, and I had to do a lot of kind of soul searching as I was putting the album together, and a lot of changes in my own perceptions of music and how. And of my own compositions. So when I was putting it out, it was a big change in my own attitude, and that's also the oldest song on the album. I actually wrote that song in front of a classroom when I was teaching high school, as a demonstration, and And when the class walked out, I quickly wrote it down on a piece of paper because I was actually super happy with it. So it's available anywhere where music is sold, on iTunes, Spotify. It's distributed and put out by CD Baby, so you can actually get physical copies there and download the individual songs there as well.
It's also on Amazon, right?
And on Amazon, it's pretty much everywhere. It was one of those deals where I kind of I got it distributed to all of the different places.
That's a cool. I like the shot. What would you call this expression? If you had to put this expression into words, would you call it? What's going on?
That's kind of my who farted over there look.
Yeah.
It's then I chose that shot because it looked like I was kind of giving it attitude. I was kind of giving something attitude.
There's definitely a lot of attitude in it.
Yeah, and the nice thing is the photo was actually taken by an ex-student of mine, Michelle Sarkisian, who was an ex-student of mine from Miami-Killeen Senior High.
Okay.
And when I taught over there, I taught there for about 7 years. And she was one of my guitar students, and I've just kept in touch with through Facebook and stuff like that. And I've always enjoyed looking at her photography.
Cool.
So we did the photo shoot that day, and
really
she
cool.
caught a really neat moment.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now I have to ask. So I asked this to a lot of people. If you were on a desert island and there were 3 things you could bring, but one of them was not your guitar.
Oh.
Yeah, I knew that would be one of the answers. So. Not your guitar, 3 things. What would it be?
Well, because I'm an ex-Boy Scout, one would be a knife.
That's
Because you can do all kinds of things with a knife.
Yeah.
Another would be a raincoat.
That's another smart choice.
Because you can catch water in a raincoat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 3 things. Wow. And it can't be a person either?
It can be a person, but it can't be a guitar, which is not a person.
Well,
People usually aren't guitarists, but
I'd have to bring my girlfriend because she knows a lot about. Well, not only is she super cool and I love her, but she's also a veterinarian and she would know about the animals on the island enough that if I'm not a hunter, so if I did,
But you are a doctor.
But I am a doctor, and now I play one on TV. But. So if I needed to skin an animal and stuff, she'd be able to say, "Hey, don't eat that. Don't eat that part." So I'd be able to survive.
Yeah. Sounds like you've got all the essentials.
We got all the essentials. And the final question we have for you. Do you think there are any similarities between playing guitar and cooking? And if so, what are they?
Similarities. Well, attention to detail.
Yeah.
And there's an artistry to it, when you're putting all those ingredients together to make something that the chocolate by itself is really super super cool, and the Chex by itself is all delicious, and I could eat a whole box of Chex all by itself, right? And don't drink the vanilla extract by itself. And the salt, we need that for importance, but they're all for all kinds of things. But when you put it all together, it creates something entirely different. So kind of like music, all the components, you have the individual notes, you have the melodies, you have the harmonies, and then you have the personalities, just like the ingredients in a band. So there's so many analogies that we could come up with, right? Just using from the ingredients of the actual musical elements to create an entire composition, thinking of the members of the group as ingredients to come up with an entire composition of a song, right? So that's how I see cooking as being related to music.
Yeah.
And also there's a little bit of improvisation in there, isn't
Of
there?
course, always.
Right?
Yeah, like the powdered sugar.
Like the powdered sugar on the end, right?
Yeah.
So, how's everybody like the puppy chow?
It's delicious.
It is delicious.
Yeah.
addictive.
It's so delicious.
Yeah.
We want to thank Brian for coming out. This has been so much fun. We want to give a special thanks to our sponsor, Juicy Juice. It is so delicious. And always remember, we can cook! See you next time.